just me? Like, I'm going to ask him, or he's going to
You
lead
guys
it?
can both discuss it. This is a co-host, just like you would if you were doing the show.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So you're going to start.
As if you knew each other, yes. All right? In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, OCCW fans. This is Lex Icon.
And this is Rain Militia.
And we're here to talk about Bushido 2021 coming up May 1st at the De La O Training Center.
Yeah, I'm excited for Bushido 2021. I'm a newbie. I'm a rookie here at OCCW. Could you explain to me how this thing works?
Well, sure. This is an 8-man tournament. A lot of the up-and-comers in OCCW are going to be here battling it out. It's single elimination. You don't win, you don't advance. One person wins the title, the Bushido Cup, as it were, and that person gets a guaranteed title shot in the future.
Oh, wow. Well, we saw earlier that Rickster and Jay Baptiste already advanced to the next round. Now, I'm curious, who are your top picks to win the Bushido Cup?
I don't know. Jay Baptiste is tough. I mean, he's a big man, but he moves really smoothly and quickly, so he's got a good combination of speed and strength. Rickster, he's all over the place. He's flying. There's some people we haven't heard yet. I know Bulletproof's in there. JBD's in there.
Jack Cartwheel, too.
Jack Cartwheel. I mean, some people, JBD, I'm not sure about his tactics sometimes. You know, he listens to Azrael, but Azrael, you can't argue with success. I mean, they have wins. I don't necessarily like the way they go about it sometimes, but you know, you gotta do what you need to survive and do what you need to win.
I agree. Well, you mentioned JBD. You know, he's actually one of my top picks. I'm kind of torn between JBD and Rickster. I think these two guys, they're very impressive. I'm curious if it might come down to JBD versus Rickster.
That would be a classic match. I mean, we've seen them go against it at Heartbreak City in the tag match they were in. So them one-on-one might be a really great finals of the Bushido Cup. I'm looking forward to the main event, though.
Oh, yeah.
Gusten Uberstud versus Azrael in that Falls Count Anywhere match. It's going to be amazing.
I mean, we saw the tag team match between them at Heartbreak City. I am really excited to see how it's going to go down. 1-1, however, like you said, falls count anywhere. So I'm curious, maybe someone might get involved. I don't know.
And a lot of people think they see Gusten and he does silly things. There's the yummy and he likes to crack jokes. But I know that he can be deadly serious if he needs to be.
Yeah, especially to protect his OCCW gold.
Yep. It's going to be a great match. Great card. Bushido 2021 at the De La O Jiu-Jitsu Training Center.
Yep, May 1st, right here. Like Lex said, it's De La O Training Center. Tickets are $20 each. And that's for general admission and $35 for a front row.
And we'll both see you there. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the OCCW studio in beautiful downtown Stanton, California, OCCW proudly presents the Royal Ramble. At the table, representing Gold Coast Wrestling Federation, it's Joseph Saint. And now, here's our host. He got mad at his barber because he was out of Vitalis. He's our guy. He's Jonathan Malice.
Hey, that's a little better, getting better every week. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Orange County Championship Wrestling's show, the Royal Ramble. The Royal Ramble. Every week.
Ramble.
Yes, OCCW's flagship show on its flagship station, the free admission channel. I want to give a shout out to our editing department and thank them for the great job they did on that introductory promo. Keep up the good work, guys. Enjoy your time in the unemployment office. Ladies and gentlemen, the man to my left is known the world over as one of the preeminent CEOs of one of the hottest up-and-coming wrestling federations without wrestling in its title. Ladies and gentlemen, some people know him as a blank screen on my blank. Yeah, there we go. Some people know him as the man who runs things backstage. Some people know him as that bastard boss of mine. I know him as Mr. Joseph Saint.
Thank you for having me, as always.
It's good to have you aboard with us, Joe. Curious in his absence is your counterpart, Mr. R.J. Wallace.
You know, he's around, he claims. Who knows? I saw him posting about being in New York on Twitter. He's all over the place. So I'll handle things like I always do. I'm here. I take care of business.
All right. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with GCF is the other wrestling company here in Orange County that's running shows. And more importantly, it is also it has a fresh approach to its live shows. You have a show coming up. Tell us a little bit about it with your fresh approach, and leave no stone unturned.
All right, so here we go. Last time I was on, I didn't have a date to say. Tonight I do. April 24th. Keep that open. Streaming exclusively. Streaming being the key word, because people have already messaged me and said, you didn't write the venue. You didn't put the venue on your poster. You're right, because streaming only, April 24th.
It means it's a TV taping, ladies and gentlemen. It's an in-house TV taping. The OCCW Training Center will become a television set, not a television set, a television stage in which they will shoot
Essentially,
GCF.
absolutely. So, exclusively streaming, coming straight to your computer screens and everywhere else. April 24th, GCF returns with Subject to Change. Here we go. I got a couple of announcements, but let's talk first, because last time I was on, I got in a little trouble with my tag champs.
Okay.
That being the Tokyo Locos, who
Okay.
are our only tag champs to date. They were the first ever champs of GCF.
Right.
I made some comments about them being underdogs. I made some comments about them being seen as lucky that they won those titles.
Right.
And since they've come out and said, oh, even the commissioner looks down upon us, I don't look down upon anyone. I want to say that right now.
Yeah, I take it from someone who actually does look down upon people. This man does not look down upon anybody. Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, my apologies if you were offended, but I
Whiners.
know who your opponent will be, because Ian Bear of the Bear System, a guru of sorts, he sees himself
I've seen
as he's claiming that the Bear System will take the tag titles. Now, who his partner is, I don't know, because the Bear System is challenging Tokyo Locos.
Interesting. The Bear System versus Tokyo Locos. Now, the Bear System, that has more than a few members, right?
They do, and he always has someone new. He claims he's always taken on new proteges of sorts.
Yeah, you might be faced with a Freebird situation, or worse, you'll be faced with an NWO situation where you got nothing but people coming out of the rafters. Well, maybe not out of the rafters, but out of the walls to come get you. What else you got scheduled on that show?
So we're having some returns that we haven't seen. I'm very excited about. Snipes returns to GCF. He is an upstart, absolutely tearing the
Fantastic
scene on
wrestler.
fire. He is going to take on Cole Wright, who is another one. Cole's coming off a loss, actually, to Ian Bear at our last show, and he's looking to prove himself against Snipes. So that one, I guarantee, is going to steal the show. You definitely are not going to want to miss that one. We've got a couple of debuts. And actually, I'm not going to say some of their names yet. So, as always, GCF has brand new faces, and that's what I'm really excited about on April 24th. Subject to change. It's the reality of the situation. It's moving forward in GCF. I look at it as a new beginning, so I'm very excited to have some new faces as well. The return of Toxic Trent as well, who's been a mainstay of the UV division. So looking forward to that. And if you've followed GCF, this next one is months in the making. We've had Helmuth, our UV division champion,
Sure. The
has been
Ultraviolet champion.
running amok, taking out Mikey O'Shea, taking out Guy Cool. There was a time when I almost thought those two were going to team up, but things fell apart. So, triple threat match for the UV division championship between Guy Cool, Mikey O'Shea, and Helmuth. We're going to wrap that up. We're going to see it finally come to a head.
Well, that's a fantastic lineup for one match, huh? And your champ?
So, Mr. Cadillac is going on, I want to say, a 500-day reign. 500 days as champ.
Fantastic.
I've been in his corner for some. He's hated me for a lot. What I will say is he hasn't really returned much of my phone calls since our last show in November. But the GCF SoCal Championship will be on the line. I can put it to you this way. I just had a meeting with the investors, and we had RJ on the phone. And we all said the next opponent of his has to be someone we all can agree on. We all agree on one man based off our last show, based off him being a breakout star, not just in GCF, but the entire SoCal scene. So I will say it right now. The next #1 contender is Jack Cartwheel.
Oh, fantastic. He's a fantastic talent, up and coming. His meteoric rise here in SoCal is equaled only by, well, I can't think of anyone who rose as fast Jack Cartwheel, and but not just fast. You know, he earned his way there, man. The guy's the James Brown of the local indie scene, the hardest working man in the wrestling business, and you can tell by the kind of condition he's in. You can tell every time I see him in the ring, he's just a little bit better. He's got a great attitude, and
he's got a great following. The crowd goes nuts. I've seen it at your show.
Yeah, I've seen the girls go nuts for him, so that's always good. So and he's taken a couple of spots away from people who thought that they were just inherent there. People come to see him, whereas people didn't used to come to see other people. So fantastic. If you and I want to go on, all of you guys watching, go ahead and sign Jack Cartwheel while you can, because it'll only be a matter of time before he moves on to the next level. All right. All right, good. Any other matches that you can talk about right now? Or are they still
I think I'm going to keep some of those to myself, but what I will say is stay tuned to GCF on Instagram at Gold Coast Fed. Stay tuned to GCF on Twitter, because this weekend we will drop the official link to order, subject to change, come April 24th.
Fantastic. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to the people who are watching. Crystal Gutierrez is watching. Much love to you and your boys and your man. While we're waiting to see him very soon, I want to give a happy birthday, for Christ's sake, to Jessica Sky Landau, who's been telling me all week that it's her birthday Friday. Jessica, I know it's your birthday. I have your gift here. If you come pick it up, you can have it. Otherwise, happy birthday. We fancy Nancy. I can't wait until they open Empower again, and we can all see each other on the regular like before. Paul Stitz, my good friend Paul Stitz, 1/3 of the Triumvirate, and 1/5 of the #1 fan of OCCW is watching. Much love to Paul Stitz. Rain Cruz, howdy do. Isaac Molina is watching. Give your mom a hug. Give Little Championship a big squeeze for me. Hope you guys are doing well. Luther Dansby is watching. Hey, Luther, I want to thank you for watching, not once, not twice, but thank you. All right, so there we go.
On the YouTube, Brian Chansey is also watching.
Of course, Brian Chansey's watching. Brian Chansey is THE man when it comes to OCCW and all things local wrestling. I want to give a shout out to Brian Chansey. What was I going to tell you? I had a message for you, Brian Chansey. I ran into one of your Korean wrestlers not too long ago. I'll tell you about that the next time I see you. All right, moving right along. So, once again, when can we see this card? What more details?
Streaming exclusively April 24th. Follow us on social media, because we are dropping the link this weekend. So, stay tuned.
And the feature match will be?
Chris Cadillac versus Jack Cartwheel.
And speaking, go ahead.
Any idea on the cost for the stream?
I believe it is $8. Don't hold me to it. Well, I can claim it. Let's say $8.
$8. No, okay, now $8. Okay, let's say you subscribe every month. How much does it cost to subscribe to WWE?
$9.99.
You're already spending more, and now you want to see some weak-ass pay-per-view like Fastlane. How much is that?
On its own?
Yeah.
Isn't it still 40, if not more?
I don't know. I know the last AEW pay-per-view was $50.
Okay, $50. Okay, AEW
for a firework at the end.
Yeah, I would not watch AEW for $5, but $50. By that said, you can get GCF's $8, right? And you can watch it anytime you want, right? They can keep it, right? So let's say you and your girl are watching the first couple matches, and then you're like, hey, let's go get something to eat. So you can pause it or save it, come back, get something to eat, and then maybe you guys are feeling a little good, or you had some wine with dinner, so maybe you guys spend a little more time getting comfortable, and you watch a match or two, and then, but before you know it, you have a whole evening for $8 and whatever it costs you to eat and have some wine. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the best deal in town, because not only will you see Joseph Saint's product, you will be supporting local businesses, and those of you who are out there saying, hey man, support local businesses. Well, now's your opportunity. Absolutely. All right, you spent a whole year giving money to Amazon. You spent a whole year giving money to Postmates. You spent a whole year giving money to Walmart and whoever, Costco. Now it's time to take that, whatever's left of your stimulus. I know it's been a week already, so it's probably already gone, and invest it in something that you'll really enjoy and that will really be worth your while. And speaking of Jack Cartwheel, we were talking about Jack Cartwheel against your champ for that title. We have the next match in the opening round of the Bushido Cup 2021. That features the aforementioned Jack Cartwheel and the many times and curious in his absence, JBD. Robert, if you've got that match for us, let's see. Once again, the setting, let me set the stage for you. Opening round, Bushido 2021, Bushido Cup Tournament. You have Jack Cartwheel You have Jack Bruce Davidson. The setting, Orange County Championship Wrestling Training Center. And here we go.
Right.
Lex, I'm going to let you and Joey call this match.
All right.
See,
What?
Full send. I don't know what that means. That's a frat boy turn. Okay. Frat boy. He is a football player. So he is a jock, frat boy, non-douchebag.
I will say it looks like Azrael's been giving JBD a little more confidence. He's not wearing the long tights this time.
That's right.
A little more confident in his body.
What was that?
he's just too quick.
JBD's phased by this. Nice go behind by JBD. Nice float over.
Get him up! Get him up! Get him up!
JBD was all over Jack Cartwheel there for a minute.
Keep him off it.
I will say career-wise,
Definitely more matches.
Behind by Jack Cartwheel. But nice back by
Yeah! Let's go, baby. Let's go. Chain wrestling. Chain wrestling. Chain wrestling.
quick arm drag. What a flying hip attack.
Shawty got that fatty. Shawty got that fatty, right?
Did you just hit me with your ass?
Big drop kick.
Screw that. Screw that.
Cartwheel gets up really high on those drop kicks.
absolutely.
He's got so much leg strength. When he does those shooting star presses, those moonsaults, it's so high. Now that's a mistake. Don't chase the guy in the ring. That happens right there.
Come on. Come on. Come on, Junior.
You know, if the guy goes out of the ring, don't stay out there. Let the referee count. Shooting star.
Again?
Come on, Jamie, get back in here.
Where you go?
JBD taking a powder, waiting outside the ring.
Give me a second.
Domino as referee on this one.
His good friend Dominic is the referee.
Come here.
Trying to call it straight down the line.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
That was a fantastic tactical
I'm never better.
maneuver by JBD, luring Cartwheel into a false sense of security and then just exploiting that mistake.
Definitely see Azrael coming through there.
Goes for the cover, yes. Gets a 2
You're
count.
going too slow, ref. Oh yeah! Technical wrestling.
Head and arm trap.
Technical.
Chin lock.
I got to apply. I got to apply.
Oh!
Oh yeah.
Boot to the face. That's absolutely devastating in some sort of. Take it away, Robert.
Well, bring
Take it
on,
away or bring it on.
Hello, everyone. This is Rain Malaysia, and it's time for the rain check with Gusten Uberstedt. Now, Gusten, you mentioned.
Okay, maybe he didn't. We're having some technical
I
difficulties
like
now.
it better this way.
Is that our problem or is that a streaming problem, Robert?
In a Royal Ramble podcast that your rivalry
Max Headroom here.
against Azrael is the longest wrestling feud ever. How determined are you to end this story between Azrael and Gusten Uberstad at Bushido 2021?
You know, Azrael and Gusten Uberstad have wrestled a couple times. We've wrestled matches that have never actually had a finish. So as far as I'm concerned, we're still wrestling here. We're still wrestling today. But on May 1st, it will come to an end. Azrael's been chasing this gold for a very, very long time. And he's been pulling a lot of shenanigans and a lot of other wrestlers from the locker room down with him in his pursuit of this gold. But on May 1st, it's going to be Falls Count Anywhere. Say it with me. Say it. Falls Count Anywhere. You say it.
Anywhere.
Now I say it. Falls Count Anywhere. And that means I can pin you in the ring. I can pin you on the ground. I can pin you on any state, continent, or planet that I want to. And you can bring all the powers of darkness that you want to. You can bring the coldness and the isolation of space itself if you want to. But in the end, the light's going to come through because you're going to be on your back, looking up at the stars, big boy, when Gusten Uberstad gets the 1, 2, 3, and finish this thing once and for all. And this gold comes home with Gusten Uberstad.
Okay, well, you said that Azrael will be bringing the power of darkness. Is that a code for JBD? How sure are you that if JBD tries to interfere, that you will still end up retaining your title?
JBD, you caught me off guard before, okay? I got distracted and you pulled a fast one. But this is no DQ, okay? This is Falls Count Anywhere. So JBD, you come after me in this match, you better be ready because Gusten Uberstad's going to bring it to you just as hard as he's going to bring it to Azrael. And there is going to be no escape for either one of you because wherever you go, I can find you. No ref can count me out. No ref can count me down. The only thing that counts is when you're pinned on your shoulders for the 1, 2, 3. And JBD, if you want to stick your neck in my business, you got another thing coming to you, Dirt Bruce Dummyson.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Gusten Uberstad, our current OCCW heavyweight champion. You can catch him versus Azrael in a Falls Count Anywhere match on the main event of Bushido 2021, May 1st, right here at the home of Orange County Championship Wrestling, Dela O Jiu-Jitsu Training Center. It's on May 1st, everyone. Tickets are $20 each for general admission, $35 for front row. This has been Rain Militia for OCCW.
Now, let me clarify the story in case you haven't been watching every OCCW show for the last 3 years. And if not, then shame upon you, by the way.
Shame.
Shame on you.
Shame. Now you have to buy 2
Missing
tickets.
things. Now you're all confused about the plot. You want me to answer your questions.
Damn it, why should we?
And now, if you pay attention to the movies,
listen up,
then you'll know what's going on. So, 2 years ago, at End of the World in November, I wrestled Gusten Uberstad in a match. We wound up out in the alley in a double countout. So I didn't pin him, he didn't pin me. So no decision was rendered, and that match has never finished. So we are going for about 2 years, about 6 months or so, a couple of days, and we are going to finally have a decision rendered. And what people don't know about this situation is I see him pretty much every couple days here at the dojo. I try to pin him, he tries to pin me, and so far, no decision has been rendered. I try to beat him, he tries to beat me. We're like the yin and the yang, chasing each other's tails.
You know what? I have to lock the doors when one of them's already here, and the other one hasn't already come in, because I don't need my whole place torn apart. These guys are going at each other with a, should we say, savageness that the likes of which you have not seen.
I broke his ankle once, he broke my arm once, and we keep going back and forth and round and round. I had to pretend to like him for a solid year for the sake of our business, because we were being invaded and whatnot, and in times of war, the enemy...
I appreciate that.
You are welcome, by the way. That was the longest, most terrible year of my life, having to sit here next to that man, being a shameful idiot for an entire 365 days, talking about the yummy and this, that, and whatever, wrestling back and forth with the Lucha Pro and Lucha Hollywood and Lucha Planet, and Lucha Universe, and all this, that, and whatever, and I hate that man with a violent passion. So finally, in October, at the Purge, I got to get rid of everybody that I needed to get rid of, threw every friend, every foe under the bus, made all the sacrifices I need to. Are you familiar with Berserk? No? Okay, well, look up Berserk. Griffith did nothing wrong.
The video game?
It's an anime. Drew Masters would know. Ask him. He'll tell you all about it. But anyway, I sacrificed everybody under the light of the full moon. And now I have my chance to end this confrontation, this rivalry, and bring an end to this. And I hate that man with a fiery passion.
Wow. There you go. You heard it from this man, the #1 contender and stalwart of Orange County Championship Wrestling. Let's shift gears a little bit, let's talk a little bit about your training. Your
Yes.
classes that you teach, where, when, and for how much?
Wednesday at 7 o'clock. That would be today. Saturday at 1:30. Come by. $20 every time you come.
That's a drop-in fee, or you can sign up for $100 a month, and that's month to month, no down payment, no what's the word I'm looking for?
EBT.
No,
none of that. Cash.
No ceremonial
Don't try to pay me in
swearing
chickens.
in of you're not going to wind up joining a cult. You're only going to learn how
No
to do
barter
pro
system.
wrestling.
I don't
okay?
want a bag of oranges. Cash is king.
A bag of
American, please. That actually happened to me before. By the way, that a real life thing.
Someone tried to
I'm
pay
like,
you from a wrestling match with a bag of oranges?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like, I suppose.
Yes, was that Martine? Oh, and anyway.
No,
So anyway.
no, not my-
Anyway. Well, he tried to pay me with pizza
Hey
once.
man,
and-
he built the prototype in his garage or whatever.
Yes, that's right. Yes. What, orange
You ever
bags?
meet
or-
Martine?
I don't.
Okay, owner promoter of WPW and the finder of John Cena, if you ask him.
That was a UPW.
Yeah, well.
Me too, but shame on me.
It's also where Lex Icon got his start.
WPW with Martine.
Yeah.
All right. Not to go bypass.
Okay, once again, that's Bushido 2021. OCCW Training Center, 8381 Catella Avenue, Unit J. It's Bushido. Bushido. It's Bushido, right? You will see Chris Nasty, Alexander Vega. Let's see. Baptiste will be there. The Rickster, Jack Cartwheel, Bulletproof. It's just a cough. And this man will be taking on the OCCW Heavyweight Champion for the OCCW Heavyweight Championship. All right, don't you dare miss it.
Okay, good.
That's general admission is $20. Ringside is $35. Doors open at 5:30 p.m. First bell is at 6 or a little before. Don't you dare miss it. All right. And again, your show will be
April 24th, streaming exclusively. Follow us on social media because we will drop the link this weekend.
all right. Did you want to come in and talk about it a little bit? Your partner is here.
Nothing I haven't already said. I mean,
Well, he got here late, like people do.
do I give him my seat for him?
No, you don't have to give up
Okay.
anything. Here, just grab this chair right here. Sit in with your brother. Your brother. Your
Ladies
buddy.
and gentlemen from Gold Coast Federation, RJ Wallace.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is also known as one half of the tag team champions of known as Gold Coast Federation. In other words, this is the. Get in a little closer.
Right.
All right. Now look at that. Now we're all huddled. It's a good thing we're all vaccinated, right? Otherwise, people like was it SCUM scum would be.
Well, look at them. They're spreading coronavirus to the world. Look at these poor families that are dying because of OCCW's outdoor show.
Anyway, talk to us a little bit. What have you got up your sleeve for the 24th? Is it
24th
the 24th of April?
of April.
Of April.
I mean, on the 24th, we got Jack Cartwheel. He's our new #1 contender. Chris Cadillac has been champion damn near 3 years. It's going to be an exciting show. We don't want to give away too much because, we want, people to buy the streams and all that. We're just excited to be back. We've been gone since November.
I'll be gone until November. Tell my baby that I don't miss it. I'll be gone. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You don't know that song.
I don't.
That was actually when hip hop was actually pretty good. All right, now it's
Was that Bruce Springsteen?
no man. That's someone else.
But yeah, we're just excited to be back. We'll be at the dojo, streaming.
Will
live.
be at the dojo.
Yes.
Fans will not. Let's
Yeah,
put
no,
that
no,
out
no,
there
yeah,
over
don't-
and over.
Stay away.
So we had
Stay
this
at your
problem
house.
last
When
show.
it says streaming exclusively, what
Yeah.
that means is do not come down.
It's a closed set. Don't do it.
Okay, let me interject here. Lil Cholo and Mariachi Loco also host a wrestling class. That's Thursdays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Want to give a shout out to the Lucha Homies. How you doing, Lucha Homies? Thanks for tuning in. Why don't you come on the show and talk about your class whenever you're ready? I'm sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
Oh no, you're good. Dang, where was I leaving?
We have a request for RJ to speak a little louder.
RJ,
Oh.
speak up.
He's very soft.
He's like Shaq. Just one of those. Just one of those.
He's just here so he don't get fined.
Yeah, you know. But no, I mean, you know, like Saint said, you know, it's we got a pretty good card coming up. I can't wait to see, you know, what we have in store, what we've been cooking up for the last
I'm
couple
just gonna
months.
adjust your hat so we can see it.
Oh, thank you.
That handsome face.
Oh, I heard you yelling about the Angels earlier.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit better. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We're no goddamn.
Yeah, it's fucking
Here in
Angels,
my-
dude. They're fucking terrible.
You know why I don't like the Angels?
Tell
You may be
them,
wondering,
tell
hey,
them
you're
why,
supposed to be
tell
OCCW. What is this, LA Dodgers? The Angels? Let me tell you something.
Tell 'em.
All right? And don't blame Artie Moreno for the LA Angels, okay? This goes back to good old Gene Autry, all right? The Angels have never claimed Orange County. All right? They did for 2 years when Disney owned them, right?
Yeah.
But before they were the LA Angels, they were the California Angels. They're like, hey, Angels fans in Orange County, they're too good for you. That's right. They always have been, and they always will be. The Los Angeles Angels. That's just a big enough slap in the face. But some people, no. Oh, the Angels, oh, the Dodgers. You go to hell.
And they're technically not even in Anaheim, you know? Like,
That is. Where's that, orange?
yeah, they're in orange.
Is that orange? See, there you go.
Yeah.
They're, you know, and they're technically not even in L.A. Yeah.
Fucking
the
idiots. Figure that
Yeah.
out.
You know,
Yeah, anyway.
and you know what, Mike Trout, if you're watching, all right, you're all right. Albert Pujols is cool. You guys need to go up the freeway a little bit. Mike Trout, imagine if you had played with the Dodgers, you'd have like 3 championships by now, instead of being able to watch the playoffs from home, right? And then you're gonna spend your last few years of your career in New York, going nowhere.
Just because you wanted to live in Irvine. Man,
You
terrible.
could still live in Irvine
Yeah,
and play
you know?
games at Chavez Ravine.
Come on, man.
Man, you would be the mayor of California. She is Southern California anyway.
The mayor
She
of
is the mayor
California?
of Southern California. Yeah.
All right.
And you wouldn't get recalled either. All right.
Jeez. Well, that's another podcast for another day.
Yeah.
But yeah, April 24th, you know, Saint said it, subject to change.
Angeles Angels. Man.
So you have Cadillac versus Jack Cartwheel. What else you got going on? The Ultraviolet Championship, perhaps?
We do. Triple threat.
Yeah, triple threat, right?
Oh, I meant to ask you. The last time we had you on our show, we administered the weight loss challenge, and I wanted to ask you how that was going, boys.
It's probably been going terrible because I was on vacation for a week. So yeah.
What I will say, even though it is for us, is this man is no joke. If you attend his training courses,
Let me give you guys both. I got to give you guys both props, right? I didn't think not one single word of complaint came from you. Partially because you were busy trying to catch your breath, but more importantly, these men were bound and determined to finish class. And by the end of that first class, boom, we had those punches straightened out, right? You were hitting with some force, you were hitting with some
Yeah,
accuracy.
now I can punch Gio Amazing in the face.
there you go.
There you go. So, that was 2 weeks ago. Or was it 3? Anyway, it was a couple weeks ago. I expect to see you guys back now that you're back.
I will be back.
Yeah,
I had
say-
a few health things, but
Yeah,
you have a few
yeah.
New York trips.
Say,
But
Yeah.
you know,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so keep that in mind, and we'll have footage for you of their training and weight loss
this is getting filmed.
soon enough.
That's fair.
All right.
As long as it's me versing him in the footage.
Yes. Once again, that is subject to change. GC Gold Coast Wrestling Federation, right? You guys are the only wrestling company that doesn't have wrestling
And
in
it
its title.
drives you nuts.
I guess it really does, right?
Beautiful thing.
Because I was thinking I was all original. I'm gonna put OCCW, right? A little bit of the new, a little bit of the old, and then you guys come. No, how about no W at all? I was
No
like,
wrestling. No, you know what you're saying.
yeah,
Bam.
exactly.
But
So
some people have 3 W's.
yeah,
Lots and lots of W's.
Yeah.
And some peas.
Yeah.
You
So
know
you
what?
did a triple threat match? Who are the 3 fellas?
That is Helmuth, Mikey O'Shea, and Guy Cool.
Oh, well, goddamn, somebody might die.
I mean, yeah.
I feel bad for Guy Cool in that match.
Well, Guy Cool.
I mean, he's a great talent. Don't get me wrong, but
I
Helmuth
will-
and
I will
Mikey?
say this. When I envisioned the UV division, I did not picture Guy Cool. And instead, he has told us every time how much he is gunning for that title.
It's funny because when you think of Helmuth, you think of aggression. When you think of Mikey O'Shea, you think of strength and solidity. And when you think of Guy Cool, you think of smiles.
Spring break.
girls in
spring break,
bikinis.
yeah. So that's a very interesting equation. That's like the oil, vinegar, and then maybe some sugar in there.
Well, now I can't mention Guy Cool without announcing the breakout star of our last show, that came out partying with Guy Cool.
Oh, look at this!
Which is Goldie,
The dancing bear.
bear.
Oh, yeah.
So T-shirts are on sale. Pro Wrestling Tees / Follow the Fed.
We've
Pro
had
Wrestling
lots
Tees,
of
Follow the
requests for Goldie the bear to show up to some parties. Some for kids, some that weren't so.
Oh yeah,
appropriate.
don't show up for that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
or just
no,
wear the mask.
We're not
At
taking.
So
least.
it's going to have to be Goldie the PG-13 bear.
We can't take those.
It's like the
bookings.
gobbledygooker, right?
Yeah, Goldie can't take those bookings yet.
All right,
And
all
what
right.
if is Freddie Flores banned? What if he
Now,
gets involved?
From what I hear,
Freddie Flores be at a
Flores is
taco
gonna
truck
have his
somewhere
hands
for all we
full. I
know,
don't
you know?
exactly know, but I know he's going to have a match. So we're going to see if that
Freddie
takes
Flores
care
is?
of itself.
Oh, there you go.
You know, don't discount Guy Cool. I've read people forget Guy Cool was in UEW. He's hit people in the head with a lot of vicious things. He's hit me in the head with several vicious things. I've hit him with a ladder. He's hit me with a chair and stuff. Guy Cool has a wide variety of stuff that he can reach into in this match.
I've been around this planet a few times, and I've noticed that some of the nicest guys, when provoked, are also the most dangerous.
He's
So
from
yes.
Long Beach, man. He survived there some kind of way.
Yeah, he's the only white boy in his neighborhood. You bet he can probably bring it. And to survive with such a happy attitude, you know, what are you going to do? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are up against the clock. That brings us to our topics. Ladies and gentlemen, topics. This portion of our show, I will provide this distinguished panel as well as Lex Icon a topic. They will have 1 minute to respond, just because he's not on the panel.
Oh, okay.
Not that he's not
I was
distinguished.
like rude and uncalled for.
Jeez, right? Yeah, I hope someday you have someone to point out all your faults, like I am lucky enough to have you. All right.
That's what comes with being in charge there, boss. See, everybody.
Right?
Heavy
Everyone-
is the head that weighs the crown, Jonathan Maddox.
That's true.
And you wearing that stupid hat.
Why does everyone say my hat is stupid? I think this hat is nice. Look at this. Look, I can wear it forward, but then you can't see my handsome face. Look.
Okay.
So by putting it on
Was the
backwards,
topic his hat for a
The
minute?
Tour de
yeah,
France.
that would be a great topic, right? All right.
Go.
All right, so this distinguished panel will have 1 minute to speak on said topic. So please make sure that you guys feel free to chime in as well. Ladies and gentlemen, topics. Once again, topics. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go with. Okay, who wants to volunteer to be the first to answer the next topic? All right, Joseph Saint. All right.
Should have found out what it
What
was
is your?
first.
Yeah, you should have. Who was it the day we did custom matches? Everyone was like, oh no.
my.
All right.
I'm all for it.
All right. Peacock editing the WWE content from the network. And go.
Here's the thing, you got to be careful in today's society of how you say this. It's the Me Too movement, it's the cancel culture. However, Peacock editing 50 years of wrestling, of course you're going to find something wrong with it to edit. Does that make it right? No. We grew up on these things. I grew up on a show called Married with Children. Do you think that would survive in today's society? Absolutely not.
No, that's true.
But that doesn't mean it didn't exist. My parents grew up with what? Wham, boom, straight to the moon. You're threatening to hit your wife.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
These things
That's a good point.
were evolution. Did we get to a point now where you can't say certain things? Yes, I understand that. But editing the past doesn't mean it didn't happen. All that means is that you're washing away history, and I don't agree with that. I think Peacock editing is incredibly stupid. 10 seconds left. The Attitude Era is going to get deleted.
But you know, and that's a good point, because it's only a matter of time before, after so much editing, you're gonna delete things like World War II. Oh, it didn't happen. There were no Nazis murdering Jews. No, it didn't happen.
Yeah, no.
What? Okay. All right. Anyone else want to speak on this topic?
I'll speak on it.
All right, my good friend RJ. Or is it JR?
RJ.
RJ. You can call me Jay, or you can call me Ray, or you can call me RJ Wallace.
Okay, all right.
Don't you remember that? You don't, huh? You're very young. I keep forgetting how young you are. Peacock editing the network. And 1 minute and go.
Oh, okay.
Get on that.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean,
Drop the verse.
you know, the Peacock stuff, I kind of figured it would happen just because, you know, this WWE deal, that it's cable television, so they're gonna blur out a lot of things that they don't want you to see. One thing I was definitely kind of like bothered about is they edited out that Survivor Series segment when Vince McMahon called John Cena the N-word. And, you know, that's a clip I wanted to show my nephew one day, you know, when he got older. You know, just to kind of, you know, put them onto some wrestling history.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of the old ECW stuff, it's not up on there yet, which is, you know, disappointing. I see why people bought all these DVDs, you know, still, so they can at least keep that bit of history on them, because going through YouTube is going to be a mess now. But I mean, I kind of saw it coming when they announced this, that we weren't going to get a lot of the original content, and it sucks. But I mean, it is half the price of the network right now, so I mean, it's not
Is
that
it half the
terrible.
price?
Commercial.
Oh yeah, with random
It's only a
commercials.
matter of time before the Peacock Network has to edit its own name out of history.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be the P.
Yeah, why aren't they
male
just-
chicken.
Colorful
No,
bird.
P colorful
Bird of
because
many
you gotta be a male.
colors.
Why don't they just call it NBC Plus?
The
There,
LGBTQG bird.
there probably is an NBC Plus.
All right, cool. I'll talk about it. I don't even go for it.
All right, for his
Sí, sí
opinion
puede.
on Peacock editing away bits and pieces of the WWE history, or for the network, we have the distinguished Azrael.
So far, I don't mind it. Like, the only things that they've taken out were some of the bits, like, weren't funny. They weren't that great of a bit in the first place. It's like they lost Roddy Piper in blackface, which wasn't like, nobody was watching. They're like, God, I really want to be a wrestler because I saw Roddy Piper come out in blackface. That just did it for me. You know what I mean? They're not getting rid of anything of any significance. There's a couple of bits that were in poor taste or stupid in the first place. X-Pac in blackface, when I saw it came out, I thought it was a stupid idea. It wasn't even that funny in the first place. Vince McMahon saying the thing, maybe to hold it against Vince McMahon in the future, but like, he ain't gonna be around forever, so it's like, it's not like if that's gone, you're not gonna be able to find it.
He's
You've
gonna
had
be
the
the
network
next-
for 7 years. If you wanted to see it and you haven't by now, oh well, shame on you. It's a little bit weird for me to see ECW, even before the Peacock Network thing, where they take out like New Jack's music, that's a bigger deal to me, because I'm like, this ain't the song, man. I remember Natural Born Killers, and this is not that. That bothers me. This is not Enter Sandman. That bothers me. But taking out the bits that aren't funny isn't really a concern of mine. I'm curious if they're gonna go through and get rid of Chris Benoit stuff. That's the only thing that matters to me. Because that's a lot of stuff
Or
to
Jimmy
do.
Snuka. Or Jimmy
That
Snuka.
would massively change.
entire Rumble,
That would
yeah.
take
Yeah,
up.
you'd have to delete WrestleMania 20.
Be very hard, man. I mean, what are you gonna
Eddie
do?
out there.
And there's so
Just
many
Eddie
people.
by himself.
So many careers are intertwined with his.
yeah.
So many guys' best matches are with him. That even over the last couple of years, like you talked to Chris Jericho, and he's like, yeah, but like a lot of my best matches DVD is gone, and that affects me. You know what I mean? So if the Peacock Network goes through and gets rid of that, or Jimmy Snuka or whatever, and they get deeper and deeper into it, then okay. But if this is like this gets rid of some of the blackface bits, or the hand coming out of Mae Young or whatever, the bits that never should have been done in the first place, cool. That doesn't cost wrestling anything. But the great matches of Chris Benoit, just leave that as it is.
Yeah, and you know that's true, and that all that editing is Louis Sapia is right. He said he hates when they blur out the WWF logo, and I agree. That is absolutely ludicrous.
But they
I
have
mean,
to. It's
it's legally-
They lost in court. Sorry.
Yeah, the World Wildlife Fund, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Goddamn Panda Bear.
but I
Which is
mean
not
that
even
could have
called
been a
that anymore.
condition of their settlement that they don't have to, you know, when you hear someone like, well, you don't hear him anymore, but when Pat Patterson would say, yeah, Bruno Sammartino and Larry Zbyszko were wrestling for the WWE title, you're like, no, they weren't. They were wrestling for the WWF title, you know, and it's like, I don't like that revisionist history. You want to talk about deleting and changing? There's a perfect example. WWE refusing to acknowledge that they were the World Wrestling Federation. You know, they've always been WWE. I don't think so. So there's a lot of that cancel culture going on, and you're right about, you know, that wanting to edit that out for Vince McMahon, because he's probably going to be the next Republican presidential candidate. You know? Oh yeah, don't be surprised. He's a smarter businessman than the last guy, and he knows how to speak to the press a little bit better. So
I mean,
there
if
you have
he
it.
books the country like he books WWE, I mean,
We're all screwed.
shit.
It depends. If it's WrestleMania 3 booking, or if it's WrestleMania
I'll
this
take an
WrestleMania.
unemployment on a pole match. You know what I mean? I think that this is in my favor.
I mean, if we get Vince McMahon as a president, we'll get Dana White eventually too.
Dana White would be
Dana White
the
is like the vice president.
the vice president. Yeah. Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Bring
Huh.
the Kiss My Ass Club back. That would be
All right, we have one more. We have room for one more topic. Let's see. Oh, did you want to weigh in on the editing?
No, you guys pretty much covered it.
All right. Okay. Stay with me, those of you who are watching. The topic is this and why, right? What celebrity? It could be anybody. It could be Nipsey Russell, or it could be Nipsey Russell's dead.
Oh, I was like
Nipsey
I was
Russell.
Like,
Nipsey
You
Russell.
kids need to learn who Nipsey Russell is. Look it up. All right. You don't know who Nipsey Russell is?
I probably do.
You just,
Nipsey Hussle wouldn't be Nipsey Hussle without Nipsey Russell.
no.
That's right. There would be no Nipsey Hussle without Nipsey Russell. You didn't even know his name was a play on Nipsey Russell, did you?
Nipsey Russell was the poet laureate of television, was on game shows all throughout the 70s and 80s. He would always come on and say stuff like, "Do not put the baby on the waterbed. It could be very grim. You won't know whether he is wetting the bed or the bed is wetting him."
All right. Anyway,
Before 86, I didn't
so
know.
anyway, any celebrity, Nipsey Russell, Nipsey Hussle, or whomever, right? Who would you like to see? Which celebrity would you like to see in a pro wrestling match and why? Who wants to pony up to that topic? Anybody? Bueller?
This is past or present.
Any celebrity. It could be John Wayne. John Wayne.
I'll go real quick.
All right. Azrael for
Give y'all
who?
a minute to think about it.
Yeah. Go.
I would do Jason Momoa. I think Jason Momoa's got the build and the athleticism. I think if you put like a couple of months into him, he's Samoan. I mean, within a couple of months, he could probably be Intercontinental Champion. He's got it in his blood or whatever. Have him run around. He's got the mainstream appeal. The guy's got a great personality. If you hear him talking like Comic-Cons or whatever, out of character stuff. He ran into Tyson Wilde. Well, Tyson Wilde, the big boxing guy. Is that his name? Okay.
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury, there you go. Talk to him. He's got a great personality for it. If he's into wrestling, that's the only question, because it didn't seem like he was very knowledgeable about it when he was talking to him. But he's like, yeah, whatever. You could run him in and have him help Roman Reigns versus, if they can't get The Rock, maybe they can get Jason Momoa. Throw him in there as a member of like the Samoan new dynasty or whatever. You can't help get better running around with Roman Reigns. And if they put Paul Heyman to talk to him, and how you doing? And then so they have the Samoan family, and Aquaman. So he's gonna be in the multi-billion-dollar movies in front of millions of people. So it's like he's still relevant. It's not like Soulja Boy that was famous like a long time ago. Snoop Dogg hasn't really been super famous
Master
for a long
P,
time.
right.
I don't understand Shaq. I mean, Shaq is huge. Shaq moves around nice. You could probably have like even a solid set of matches. I'm looking forward to see if The Miz can take Bad Bunny as far as Bam Bam Bigelow took Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
But I mean, people forget Lawrence Taylor was a football player and a football player recently, so he was in the shape, and he could move around. And just, you need the right guy to move the
He
guy
was also
around.
on drugs, but
Yeah, well, that's a good point, because there have been good celebrities like Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman who were actually able to have a passable.
Well, and Rodman wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
another important thing. Yeah,
LT did set the bar though.
yeah, that's true.
I mean-
Okay, anyone else want to weigh in on this topic? RJ Wallace is weighing in. Who? What's
golden
now?
dancing bear.
Remember, he
The
gave
dancing bear.
he gave a very credible, like Jason Momoa would pass, right? But you could say anyway. You could say who? Richard Keel, whoever that is. You don't know? What do you do
You
all
don't
day?
even know who he
I
is.
bet you if I started naming porn stars, you don't know who Nipsey Russell is. You don't know who.
I don't know many porn
Yeah,
stars.
yeah,
All right, I'll
bullshit.
do it. Hit the 1 minute on
All
mine.
right, 1 minute. Joseph Saint, go.
Strictly from a comedy point of view, if this was classic wrestling in the 80s, I would say Bruce Campbell of the Evil Dead series. I would want him to go against Piper coming off of They Live. And I would
Okay.
want them to have a classic slapstick comedy match. I think would be hilarious at the time.
Bruce Campbell.
That is Ash of the Evil Dead franchise.
sure.
But yeah, that would be a classic, I think, in terms of Piper would get the best out of him promo-wise.
Sure.
And Bruce Campbell would play it back. It would be that very vintage feel to it. It would not work in their later years, but I think it would definitely have worked in their heyday, coming fresh off of the horror
But
movies.
yeah, the Piper Pit thing.
Right.
When he could have him on there. It was almost like an Andy Kaufman, Jerry
Absolutely.
Lawler thing. Interesting. You got 30 seconds.
I said it all.
Take us through a match between
So
Roddy Piper and Bruce
It
Campbell.
would be very reliant on weapons of Bruce Campbell. He would play off the Book of the Dead from the Evil Dead at some point.
Ah.
You would have Piper picking up the glasses from They Live and seeing. It would have to rely heavily on effects at the time as well, but I definitely think it would have been something special coming off for the fans of both of those franchises.
You know what? You got to talk to Dustin Lawyer, because I think he would probably be able to put together some sort of, what do they call that, CGI match.
Cinematic
That's
matches?
That's a great
Stay
idea.
tuned to GCF because we got some cinematic ideas. That's not even a joke.
Fantastic.
They're gonna bring back dead wrestlers and put them in CGI.
All
matches.
right. That's not going to get you friggin'. Oh, yeah. All right. Did you want to weigh in
Yeah,
on this,
sure,
Lex?
why not?
Okay. For his opinion on who a good celebrity wrestler would be, we have the lexicon of lexiconography. We have Lex Icon.
Okay, so this would end up possibly being a comedy match in a way, but these two guys, one of the things I like also besides wrestling is Broadway. Not a long match, but actual stage theater. And I think a good match would be Neil Patrick Harris
Okay. Neil
Against-
Patrick Harris, Doogie Howser
against Matthew Broderick.
against Ferris Bueller.
Two guys.
now,
Wait a minute. Well, no, wait.
Go on, go on.
I
I
have
wanna hear
35
this.
seconds
This is
yet.
great. This is great.
I have
This is
35.
great.
So these two guys, they're both very popular in their youth. They're both excellent movers because obviously they dance and they sing all the time. So they could probably move lithely around the ring. You show them a couple moves, that could be a great match, and they could also be a pretty good tag team together. I would say. I just think like they tried to do with Aiden English. They tried to make him, the singing wrestler. I think Matthew and Neil Patrick could do it. Yes, I'm a nerd.
Two little bitches in the ring wrestling each other. I would be really.
I'd rather watch them than Bad Bunny.
Yeah. No. Oh, that's a great idea.
Because the women we'd come up with would be inappropriate matches, I think.
No, I would. Okay, I'm gonna come up with a woman celebrity that I would like to see. Two of them in a match.
I thought of one, and I was going to say it, but I thought it would be considered inappropriate. I would like to see Lee Merriweather versus Julie Newmar versus Eartha Kitt in the Battle of the Catwomen.
The cat people. Yeah. No. Did you come up with anyone yet?
I did.
Okay, let's hear it.
So, I mean, earlier we talked about Master P, but in all reality, it should have been Silk the Shaka. So Silk the Shaka was a rapper in No Limit Records, and he was the actual wrestling fan of the group, and he really wanted to be in the cruiserweight division. He actually did train at the power plant, but he got hurt, and so in turn he couldn't tour with No Limit Records that year. But I think him in the cruiserweight division probably would have been something to see because he was very eager to learn and to be a pro wrestler at the time. I feel like he could have did well for himself, especially in that time because they were moving towards, like the more like technical type of wrestlers in the cruiserweight division with, Dean Malenko and the dude who had the Prince gimmick, Prince Iakea. And like guys like that and Candido. So I thought Silk the Shaka would have been perfect for the cruiserweight division back in WCW, but they didn't do much with the whole No Limit thing anyway. So
All they did was versus the West Texas.
yeah, that was
Who they put in the ring for the No Limit guys? So who are the two guys that they picked? I don't remember.
It was what was his name, Slim or Steel or some shit, and then another guy.
Because I think they got like to Ray and Kidman pretty quick, and they were like, these are the filthy animals, and they like kind of just took over from there, whatever. They didn't run with the Master P making them say, like, that was hot, but like they didn't run with it very far. This guy, like, Kurt Hennig and Barry Windham came out with the Rap This Crap thing, and then they went back
And
it
then
was like
took
3
it over.
months.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna weigh in on this one. What I would like to see is not Amy Poehler.
Bruce Springsteen.
No.
Amy Schumer.
Yes, Amy Schumer. She's the one the train wreck, right? That girl? Yeah. Okay, Amy Schumer against Queen Latifah.
Why?
And let me tell you why. No, let me tell you why. That's a match because Queen Latifah's a big girl. But she's sexy as hell and badass. I mean, she's sexy as hell. I don't know what it is. I see. I'm like, oh my god, yeah. And have you seen that show that she's in, the Equalizer?
Yes.
She's so badass in that. And Amy Schumer, she is a train wreck, right? White trash garbage, right? Up there, just smashing it out. That would be a fantastic ass whooping battle royal.
To get squashed by Queen Latifah.
She would not only get squashed by Queen Latifah, but she would fight dirty. It would be just a fantastic, epic. She's nowhere near as sexy as Queen Latifah, but
Are we talking about regular Queen Latifah or Queen Latifah and Set It Off?
well, she's not as sexy and Set It Off, but she's cooler and Set It Off, right? She's as cool. So there you have it. Queen Latifah would be taking down Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer would be taking her bumps. And I hope you enjoyed watching this edition of Royal Ramble. I hope you come to see GCF the 27th on your television. 24th, April 24th.
Don't come to see it. Watch it
Don't show up to the
Watch it on the
dojo.
link.
Follow us on social media. We'll drop the link this weekend.
I hope to see you Saturday, May 1st at the OCCW Training Center. And I hope that all of your bumps